So most restaurants make most of their money, it's not on the food, it's on the liquor. Do you see yourself where you can loosen the eat-in? So maybe it's a 200-seat restaurant, you can have 50 people at one time. They need to be separated by 6 feet. We're all separated by 6 feet here, doing our jobs. Do you see it kind of like, instead of just saying everything's open, there's a regulated thing to make sure that it's, do you know what I'm saying?
I know exactly what you're saying. So let me answer it this way. As we see numbers starting to drop, and we're all hopeful, and that will happen at some point, whether it's a couple months from now or further out, or maybe even sooner, who knows. As we start to see those numbers drop, the most critical aspects are going to be, how do we further evolve our model to meet that need in terms of what's happening, and how do we message it? What we do not want to do is give folks a false sense of security that as the curve starts to bend, even as it starts to drop, look, we could hit potentially thousands of cases, right? And if you come back to 500 and you start loosening everything too quickly, people think that it's fine, but technically we're in a situation 5 times worse than today. So you have to message this the right way, which is why we're going to constantly, at every press conference and every chance we get, we're going to look at the people in New Hampshire and say, please, you're doing a great job with social distancing, the responsibilities of this new model, please take it seriously. We're in this for the long haul. And the longer we can maintain those responsible actions and keeping the distancing and the working from home, the telecommuting, whatever it might be, those things are going to allow us to again manage as we start to come back from this the proper way, so we can get to a point where we're fully, I don't want to say we're fully back to normal, but obviously that's the goal. We want to get there as soon as we can. So the messaging and that next version of the restaurant model is going to be very critical.
And just one more thing. So much of our revenue is based on people spending that money in rooms and meals. Are your finance people looking at the trajectory of what the long-term forecast is?
Look, the short and long-term forecast in terms of state revenues is not good. There's just no getting around that. I mean, I don't mean to be overly dire about it, but that shouldn't be a secret to anyone. Revenues are going to be drastically impacted at the state level. What we need to do is, again, find ways that we can keep the most vital services moving forward, making sure that folks are getting exactly what they need. We're going to have to make some cuts one way or another. We're so early on in this, it's a bit unknown. One of the biggest unknowns is how much is the federal government going to come in and support us, not just at the state level, but your town, right? Your folks are going to have trouble paying their property taxes or whatever it might be, and that's going to affect your municipal services as well. So that's why talking to Senator Shaheen, Senator Hassan, and the congressional delegation has been, I think, very important to hear, not just from the governor, but from the local and city and town officials, how important it is that hopefully as part of this stimulus package, they're providing some of that financial support to the governmental levels as well.